Laliho everyone, this is Puppenzucker and I'm gonna show you how to sew a simple skirt for your doll. I'm making it for a BJD, but you can do the same kind of skirt for a Monster High, a Barbie, or even you if you want a skirt for yourself. We're gonna start out with a rectangle piece of fabric that is at least 3 times the waist of your doll in width and however long you want it to be. You will need to add some seam allowance that is individual to the doll size that you're making. I'm gonna put my recommended seam allowances in the description below. The first thing we're gonna do is make a tunnel for the waistband. Turn the fabric to the left side, fold in the upper edge and press it flat. Once pressed flat, turn it in a second time, about 1 or 2 millimeters more than the first time, and press it again. If you are new to sewing, turn it in about 3 to 4 millimeters instead of 1 or 2 millimeters to have some extra space for the seam. We're gonna sew really close to the edge. Try about 1 or 2 millimeters away from it. Take your time and try to be precise. It takes a bit of practice to do it faster and more consistently. Don't worry too much if it doesn't turn out as neatly yet. You will get there eventually. If you chose to turn in the fabric a bit more, it will also help you because you have more space to, quotes, mess up. Alrighty, let's move to the hem. This essentially works like the tunnel for the waistband. Turn in the fabric and press it as before. Then you can turn it in a good deal more than at the waistband. Most skirts do have a hem like that. This is how your hem looks now. Just do the same as at the top, stitch very closely to the edge. As you can see, it's just like in the waist, a seam very narrow to the edge of the hem. Let's go on to the waistband. I'm taking a small rubber band for this and pull it around my doll's waist. Well, if it lets me do that. Like this. See that it is slightly stretched? And then I cut it with about 1 centimeter seam allowance on each side. To pull in the rubber band, you're gonna need a safety pin. Attach the safety pin to the rubber band, insert it into the tunnel you made and slowly push it inward. Now you can fold the fabric over the pin and pull at the edge. This way you can pull the pin through the whole tunnel. Be careful that the rubber band doesn't slip inside the tunnel where you started to pull it in. I'm gonna take a pinning needle and secure the rubber band so that it stays put and can't vanish into the tunnel. At the end of the tunnel, I pull out the rubber band a bit and use a second needle to secure this end. Now your skirt is nicely ruffled at the top. We just need to close the center back now. I put both sides on top of each other and pin them. And then I'm gonna sew the center back. As you can see, it's now closed, but the fabric can start to fray and dissolve at the edges, which we don't want. So I'm gonna zigzag the seam allowance to prevent it from fraying. Everything is zigzagged and secured now. You can turn the skirt around and it's finished. Of course, you can pimp it up. with some lace, for example. I hope this has helped you, and I'm going to see you next time.